My name is Astrid DeAndre, and I am a senior food science student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I will be presenting my honors thesis, an investigation of the nutritional composition of commercially available yogurt systems in the U.S., a comparison of plant-based and dairy products. This research was conducted under the direction of food science professors Dr. Alyssa Nolden and Amanda Kinchla. Plant-based yogurts are more sustainable than dairy yogurts. A recent study has found plant-based yogurt production emits less greenhouse gases and requires less land than dairy yogurts. However, despite the appeal of the environmental benefits of a plant-based diet, this may not translate to consumer motivation to purchase specific products, like plant-based yogurts. Therefore, it has been recommended that plant-based yogurt brands specify the health benefits of their products' ingredients to attract consumers. This presents a challenge. Dairy yogurt is considered a nutrient-rich food that offers high quantities of desirable nutrients and, depending on the type, relatively low amounts of fat and sugar. When developing plant-based yogurts, it is important to consider the overall nutritional profile, since consumers may utilize these products as a direct substitute for dairy products. As the plant-based yogurt industry continues to launch new products, the nutritional differences between the variety of plant-based and dairy yogurts must be quantified and understood. As you can see here, a few recent studies have compared the nutritional properties of plant-based yogurts in many different countries. However, only one article studied products in the United States, and this study did not make a comparison to dairy yogurts. Additionally, only one study used a nutrition profiling method. So where does this research fit in? This will be the first study to compare the nutritional properties of dairy and plant-based yogurts in the U.S. and use a nutrition profiling method. The objective of this study is to compare the macronutrient and micronutrient profiles of commercially available plant-based and dairy yogurts in the United States using Mintel Global New Products Database, a market research database. Additionally, the NRF index is used to compare the overall nutrient density of dairy and plant-based yogurts. This information will help the food industry identify areas of opportunity in the nutritional composition of plant-based yogurts to formulate nutritionally dense products. To achieve this, a database was generated using Mintel Global New Products Database to gather refrigerated and spoonable yogurts launched between January 2016 and January 2021. The resulting products were then eliminated based on criteria that will be shown shortly. Any missing or extraneous data was filled in, and the database was uploaded to RStudio, where statistical analysis took place. Since serving size is variable, all nutrients were standardized based on 100 grams. Products were characterized on the base used. This was achieved through a review of the ingredient list and supplemented with a web search and product descriptions and/or imaging. Finally, the products were statistically analyzed. Before analysis could be conducted, the database had to be refined. After the eliminations, 462 dairy yogurt products were compared to 160 plant-based yogurt products. Importantly, products were compared in accordance with their bases or primary ingredient. For dairy, this included full-fat, low-fat, and non-fat milk. For plant-based, this included coconut, almond, cashew, oat, and flaxseed, soybean, and a coconut cashew blend. Due to the small sample size of these last three categories, they were eliminated from statistical analysis. For statistical analysis, a one-way analysis of variance was performed to compare the product bases as a function of their macro and micronutrients. For every macronutrient, all bases were found to be significantly different from each other. While all bases were different, saturated fat and protein produced notable results that I will show you here. As shown here, coconut yogurt contained the highest saturated fat content, surpassing full-fat dairy yogurt. Coconut yogurt containing the highest saturated fat content was also found in previous studies. As shown here, all dairy yogurts had on average a higher protein content than plant-based yogurts, but were not significantly different from almond yogurt. This is an interesting result because plant-based proteins are considered incomplete proteins and also could be considered lower protein quality than animal-derived protein. For every micronutrient, all bases were found to be significantly different from each other. While all micronutrients were different, calcium and vitamin B12 produced notable results. Calcium, as expected, was low in all plant-based yogurts, with cashew yogurts providing the least amount. As cow's milk is considered a food rich in calcium, fortification of plant-based yogurts is an opportunity for calcium content improvement. Coconut yogurts fortified with vitamin B12 contained more than dairy yogurts. This was an interesting result. Consumers reducing dairy products from their diet may need to supplement with vitamin B12 or select plant-based dairy alternatives that include fortification of vitamin B12. This difference highlights the importance and opportunity to improve the nutritional profile of these yogurts with vitamin B12. The Nutrient-Rich Foods Index is a nutrient profiling system developed by Dr. Adam Dranowski. The NRF Index is a validated comprehensive food guidance system that assigns a score to an individual food based on its nutrient content in relation to calories. The NRF Index algorithm is based on a positive subscore for nutrients to encourage or qualifying, and a negative subscore for nutrients to limit or limiting. In this study, our NRF 6.3 model was composed of a positive subscore for 6 nutrients to encourage and a negative subscore for 3 nutrients to limit, as shown here. Each nutrient was expressed as a percentage daily value calculated per 100 kilocalories, and you can see the formula I used here. Here is a chart of the results. Almond and oat yogurts scored higher than dairy yogurts and were also significantly different than dairy yogurts. Here is a diagram of the NRF 6.3 score in comparison to energy density. As we can see here, oat has a low energy density but a high NRF score, while almond has a high energy score and a higher NRF score. To conclude, plant-based yogurts contain less sugar than dairy yogurts, but contain less protein and calcium compared to dairy yogurts. Fortification with vitamins and minerals has the potential to make up for nutritional deficiencies. With the current strategy for plant-based products to be substituted for conventional products, there is a need to consider the desirable nutritional benefits of dairy yogurt, such as protein, vitamin B12, and calcium, and the minimization of nutrients such as sugar, sodium, and saturated fat. This concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.